legalization. We need to mobilize that kind of support again this year. So we hope you'll go over here, sign our petitions, pick up the petitions, and help circulate them. You know, according to a study out of Notre Dame about feral hemp in Illinois, wild hemp that grows wild, an acre of hemp will produce 300 gallons of oil, and the byproduct from that is 6 tons of high-protein food. That makes it 3 times more productive than any other seed oil crop. And the byproduct is food to feed the hungry. If we drove all of our cars in this country on industrial hemp, the food byproduct would wipe out world hunger at the same time. It also, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, produces more fiber. A waste product from previously cultivating the outer bark of the hemp stalk, basically a hemp stalk has the bark around it. It's called bast fiber, and that's what's been used to make canvas, rope, lace, and linen. But the interior part of the stalk is called hurd fiber. That's H-U-R-D. And that had been a waste product. It had been used in barns and as a fuel to burn too. But what the USDA said in Bulletin 404 is that that waste product makes 4 times more paper than the most productive tree species. So you take your acre of hemp and you can get 8,000 pounds of seeds. You press that, you get over 300 gallons of oil and 6 tons of high-protein food. At the same time, you'll get 10 tons of hemp bast fiber for canvas, rope, lace, and linen. And you'll get 25 tons of hemp hurd fiber for paper and building materials. You know, this is a plant that produces more biomass in the temperate cooler zones than any other plant. The plant that produces the most protein, the most fiber, the most oil, and they prohibited it. This plant is a sacred gift from Mother Earth, from our Creator. And I am truly honored to be able to speak out on behalf of it and to fight this fight. And I hope all of you join in and help us end adult marijuana prohibition, help medical patients, and restore hemp.
Could it help me with my chronic pain?
Could it help me with my chronic nausea?
If you're considering medical marijuana as an alternative solution to your condition, choose the safe and legal way. We're the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation, and we've helped over 100,000 patients nationwide obtain permits to legally possess, use, and grow medical marijuana. And we can help you. If you have questions, we have answers. Make the right decision. Call or visit our website today.
Difficult sometimes. You see that?
Oh my God, there's a whole rainbow.
Here,
I see it. I see the rainbow.
It's an aurora going around the sun.
The warm summer sun has finally returned to beautiful British Columbia. And today, Jeff Tech and I are going to plant our vegetable garden in these planters that we used to use as our indoor medicinal cannabis garden. Welcome back to Michelle's Medicinal Marijuana, everyone, and thank you for watching. Last year, Jeff Tech and I had such a wonderful bounty of vegetables that, of course, we just had to plant them all over again to share with our friends, family, and neighbors. And it's something that I encourage all of you to do. This has been a wonderful recycling project, and I'm very excited to reap the rewards in 60 days of some peas and some beans and some carrots and all those other wonderful organic vegetables that are going to be produced. It has been a challenging time the past couple of months, emotionally and physically, in our world. 2 months ago, sadly, my cancer returned. I have stage 3 melanoma, and I had to have another baseball-size excavation out of my shoulder, and I've been recovering quite nicely thanks to my indoor medicinal cannabis garden. I also have been suffering from Crohn's disease for over half my life, trying very, very hard to make sure I maintain my health so that, of course, I can continue on with my cannabis activism. A heroic man has passed away, Jack Herer, of the Emperor Wears No Clothes fame. an unbelievable activist who contributed to all of our activism in this global world. And it's very, very sad, but I hope that we will continue to spread his message in honor of him. Also, Mark Emery. Yes, Mark Emery has been extradited to the U.S. Our Justice Minister has signed the papers, and we need to do everything that we can to oppose this again. Please, there are so many people that are in jail right now for cannabis offenses, and Mark should not be one of them. And I advise you all to call the Justice Minister, talk to your local MPs, and let them know that this is a travesty and a breach against Canadian sovereignty. Also, our Conservative government has reintroduced Bill C-15 as S-10, just to confuse us all. Of course they would do that. Now, S-10 would yet impose mandatory minimum sentences for 6 marijuana plants. That's right, 6 marijuana plants. We already have 1 in 98 or 1 in 99 in jail in the U.S. right now. And Canada is going to be put in the same situation if S-10 is implemented. Again, I urge you all, write, email, go in person to the offices of your local constituents and let them know that this cannot happen to Canada. We cannot allow ourselves to go down a very, very dark road. Like I said, it's been a challenging time, but we all need to group together as cannabis activists, and not just cannabis activists. We need to group together and be social activists and role models and contribute to our communities in a positive way as much as we can. And this is therapy for me right now, planting a garden that's going to produce some wonderful vegetables that I will be able to share with my community. All of you, thank you for watching. Continue on, get involved, and be the best you can be. Love you all.
Welcome to Freedom Files. I'm James Burns, and Hemp History Week continues. That's right, it's still going on all the way through this weekend. And for more information about Hemp History Week, log on to hemphistoryweek.com. And since it's Wednesday, and since I normally do a top 10 every Wednesday, I might as well make it hempish. That's right. So this is going to be my top 10 hemp products. Number 10, hygiene products. Of course, hemp can be used to make soaps and all sorts of goodies. A lot better for you than a lot of the stuff that they sell now that have a lot of bad chemicals in it. Number 9, natural supplements and essential oils can be made out of hemp. Oh yeah, bet you didn't know about that. Number 8, medicines can be made out of hemp. That's right. Probably much better than what the big pharma drug dealers are selling you. Number 7, livestock feed. That's right. You can use hemp to feed your chickens and your cows, which is much better than, say, grounded up cows and corn, which is not good for cows, which is what caused the mad cow disease. Number 6, plastics. Yes, believe it or not, plastics can be made out of hemp. I know, very surprising, I know. Number 5, textiles, like clothing. I don't think this is made out of hemp, but I should really invest in some hemp clothing because I hear it's very good fabric and quality. So number 5, textiles as in clothing. Number 4, alternative fuel source. You have the terrible Gulf spill happening right now in the Gulf of Mexico. Millions upon millions of gallons of oil going into the Gulf, killing all sorts of wildlife and damaging the environment, which is going to result in not only the seafood prices going up as well as the oil prices. Maybe it's time for us to start looking for a very realistic alternative source for fuel. Maybe hemp. That might be a good idea. Going into the top 3 now. Number 3, building materials for construction. That's right, you can build your house, you can build buildings, and you can build things out of hemp. Surprise, surprise. Number 2, this one really does please the tree huggers. Paper products, that's right. And one thing I wish I could get a hold of was some paper. So I